Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name is Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading for you, tuning in to the day's energy, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Oh my. Oh. Alrighty. Alrighty, Rudy, fresh and fruity. The overall energy of this reading is the Lovers. Wow, that's quite an image. Complementary colors are really popping on this card, the orange and the blues. Goodness gracious, get a room. All right. So what does the viewer need to know about the Lovers? About two people coming together that complement each other. Oh my goodness, King of Cups. Oh my goodness. Wow. This is someone emotionally intelligent, someone who has a lot of emotional space within them. They understand emotions. They have an emotional maturity. So when the waters are choppy, the King of Cups is steady, is solid, understands emotions, understands their emotions. This person can really hold space. This person also has a great deal of compassion, love. They also feel very authentic. Eight of Cups, Two of Swords reversed, King of Wands showing up now. The King of Wands is showing up with his back turned, and he's looking at this giant snake wrapped around a tree. Don't know if you can really see the imagery here. So, Eight of Cups, walking away from something where there are emotions, but it's just not enough. It's just not the right mix. It feels disappointing. So someone's leaving some type of disappointment, emotional disappointment. Two of Swords in reverse. There was this black and white thinking. There was a lot of fog of confusion where there's now clarity. Someone's seeing through some type of, feels like internal confusion. Something that was very confusing, a lack of consciousness, seeing something as this or that, and there's something new, a new perspective. Feels like that's this King of Wands energy, taking action. It feels like you are, wow, facing your fears. Snakes are guardians of portals. Snakes create a lot of fear and control. They create fear, this fear energy. It feels like this is whoever's showing up in this very loving, capable, emotionally available energy. Feels like it might be bringing some fears up within you. Feels like you've walked away from something that was not emotionally satisfying. You're seeing something very different. You're no longer confused. And it feels like this person coming in, it brings up a lot of fears to be felt. the portal that is like this, a relationship. This feels like a relationship, a partner. It feels loving. This feels like a romantic relationship, partner. And it feels like there's a need to balance that fear, to recognize the fear. Feels like it's coming from a past situation where there was a lot of confusion. It's creating this worry within you, that you're going to repeat past patterns, past relationship patterns. Feels like you're trying to figure out if this is something, a relationship you want to invest in. The past relationship feels very loud in your energy. Worries, fears, pains. It's interesting because this person feels very lovely and loving and authentic, and it is bringing out from within you a lot of pain and worries. Yeah, there's this, I'm afraid I'm going to repeat the past. I'm afraid the same thing's going to happen. What does the viewer need to know? Okay. Oh boy. This is a lot. It feels like there's a lot to process. For some of you, there's this desire to not be alone. I don't want to be alone. All right. It looks like the King of Cups might be your energy. You might be the one who's emotionally mature, capable of dealing with a lot, very open-hearted, very loving. If that resonates, it's not about gender. It's about an energy that I'm tuned into. That it's the King of Cups, and if you are female, gendered, if you identify as female or non-binary, then what I'm seeing in King of Cups isn't about gender. It's about an outward expression of someone who has matured emotionally. Someone capable of holding space for really uncomfortable emotions. And it looks like you've been very unhappy in regards to romantic love. Not getting what you desire. Very unhappy. Feeling confused for this lack of a connection, lack of a lover, lack of someone who could meet you. Lack of complementary colors. Blue and orange are the opposite side of the spectrum, but when they're next to each other, complementary colors, they pop. So like reds and greens. Look at me being an art teacher. And in this image, what I was really drawn to is those vivid blues in the background and the oranges, and how they just really make this image pop. I get the feeling that there's someone who can complement your loving nature, your open-heartedness, your emotional maturity. You're also showing up in this current energy is very intuitive, with the High Priestess showing up. With her back turned, it feels like you might have secrets that you keep to yourself. It feels like you might be very private about your feelings, about your perceptions of things, about how you perceive your reality. You have a lot of skills. You understand energy, have some type of intuitive nature that you're tuned into that maybe the people around you don't understand. She has no roof over her head, which symbolizes unlimited potential. You're connected with your higher self. You're receiving information and guidance. So it looks like you, with the High Priestess and the King of Cups, describing your energy, some aspects, some facets. It feels like who I'm talking to is multifaceted. So we're just talking about one aspect of you. And when I asked who this is, who's showing up, who is the partner to this King of Cups, and I got the Ten of Pentacles. This is my card for happily ever after. This is reality, though. It's not a fantasy because it's pentacles. It's in the 3D. It feels like there's some portal that something you're leaving with this arch behind this person. It feels like you're walking into a new threshold, a new reality. And who's showing up might be older. They have some type of wisdom and tons of stability, security, loyalty with the dog, and innocence with the white dog showing up. He doesn't have armor on, so it doesn't feel like the person you're pulling in that you're meeting is armored. It feels like they're very open. Red passion, red and green, complementary colors. Again, this person compliments you. By being with you in their authentic self, you pop. Your colors pop. You're able to be yourself. This person doesn't want you to switch to their color. They like that you are complementary. Easy for me to say. This feels stable, secure. With the grass at his feet, it feels like there's a lot of potential for growth. He's also wearing a cloak. Is that Virgo? A Virgo sign on one, and then the feminine energy sign, female, on the other. This person feels so grounded. I feel very grounded tuning into their energy. Very capable, very present. Feels like you might have just upped a level in your emotional maturity. Maybe had a breakthrough recently, somewhat recently, and so it feels like that's why this is happening. All right, let's look into what's hidden. We have the Nine of Cups. What's interesting, when I was trying to figure out who this is, who's who in this, the King of Cups came up as the Nine of Cups in reverse as a description. You are very unhappy. In the relation to your romantic relationship space. Feels like you haven't had a lot of blessings headed your way, a lot of happiness, a lot of joy in that interpersonal, closest romantic relationship. And what's hidden is it looks like that's shifting. It feels like a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, a lot of alignment. It feels like, yes, there are definitely fears coming up to be felt as you take control, as you get to know this person. What else does the viewer need to know? What would be helpful for the viewer to know? Thank you. Interesting. 2 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups. This feels like a very fun person. Get you out of the house. Yeah, definitely. It gets you out in the world. Having a partner to go do things with kind of is what that I'm tuning into. Some fun things to do, fun activities. Some of you are wanting those passionate activities inside the house after getting out of the house. You're finding out if it feels like you're building a foundation, seeing if this is someone you can build a future with. This feels very healing. Feels like it heals a lot of childhood wounds. Feels like you have healed a lot of childhood wounds. You've done a lot of work within you. And it feels like this person makes you feel safe, makes your inner child feel safe. This feels like a lot of happiness and a lot of a very different way of relating. This person wants you to be you and wants to be a partner with you without changing you necessarily. Like, you don't have to change. If this person's blue, you don't have to shift from being orange into blue. They want you to be you. They don't want you to mirror them and match them. They want you to be yourself and be in relationship. That feels very different to you. Yeah, that feels this is very different ways of relating. I love that there are there's cups, wands, pentacles, and swords in this. It feels balanced. Sometimes when I do a love reading, it might be all in the cups or all in the fire. And one, a passionate experience or emotional, this feels very balanced. There's definitely, with the Ace of Wands, some potential here for some fire, some synergy, a spark. There's also a timing element here. Again, it feels like you might overthink this. And there's a message here to enjoy, to take it slowly, go slowly, get to know someone. Don't need this person to be something. Some unmet need of yours. If you're like, I need this person to be the one, that's a lot to put on someone. Can you just get to know this person and then let them show you who they are over time? If you need this person to be the one or this or that, you will miss asking difficult questions to make sure that they're a good fit, that they are someone you can relate to. Feels like in the past, you might have projected a lot. I need this person to fulfill something within me. I need them to be the one, instead of just letting them be a person and get to know them. Take some time. Don't put that puts a lot of pressure. Have you ever been in a relationship or getting to know someone and you can feel they've got some type of picture, projection, and even if it's wonderful things they see about you, you can tell they're not really seeing you. They're kind of seeing if you fit into some type of idealized version of something. Yeah. All right. The advice and outcome. Jeez. Knight of Cups. In this image really illustrates the version of the Knight of Cups where what's in the cup could be his imagination, can be not true, fantasy. It feels like you want to bring a fantasy, bring something, a desire into this reality. So some of you kind of, when there's a relationship in the past, you might have just kind of gone to another space, like a fantasy. Even when they're not there, having conversations, ruminating, imagining, because you're hooked on that feeling. The feeling of it just feels so good, of the potential, instead of, yes, enjoying the feeling of it, but staying grounded in this reality. No conversations when they're gone. Just ask questions to your... Like, there's something here about maybe going off into fantasy in the past, creating projections of who you want this person to be and who they might be and what life you might have together. There's something about, let's ground it into reality. Let's let them be real. And by real means that they are multifaceted. They have many sides to them. So it'll take time to get to know them in different environments. There's a need to move extraordinarily slowly, to not rush this, to be tactical, to ask tough questions that you might not want to hear the answers to, about how they are perceiving their reality, where they're at. It feels like listening more, asking really good questions, so you really know the truth of the landscape of who this is, instead of, do they fit my idealized version of what I'm asking for? Feels like you could really pull this relationship into this reality. There's also a message here about not getting lost in the sauce, completely letting go of everything else, losing your sight on what you want to create in this world. Oh, okay. I'm seeing that in the past you might have centered romantic relationships, and everything else kind of took the back seat. And so what I'm perceiving here is an invitation to not center the romantic relationship. It's a beautiful part of other aspects that you and other relationships that you have. Don't lose every relationship you have just to have this. There's a need to be for balance. In the past, you might have put all your eggs in the romantic relationship basket and uh, it and left everything else wanting that to work. And so when it didn't work, you were left with nothing or very little, because as you put all your energy into a romantic relationship and leave out everything else, then you're not cultivating other relationships and other experiences. There's a message here to not get lost in the sauce, to remain balanced in this. Wow, beautiful. All right, I hope this reaches whoever needs to hear this and is helpful. Take care. Bye.